In goalkeeping, we have a lot of core skills. These are distribution, shot stopping, one versus one, area control, mentality, physical. There's so many skill sets, right? And you, as a young, ambitious goalkeeper, might wonder, which one should I focus more on? Which ones are more important? Here is my takeaway. I think that a very unexplored and undeveloped area for most young goalkeepers and some top-level goalies as well is their area control. I've had this discussion with my goalkeeper mentor, Kamil Olstinsky, for years and years. And we do agree because honestly, if you think about a 90-minute game, how many shots will you likely have on target? In a top-level game, there's maybe 5, right? Tops 5. But how many crosses comes into the box? Man, that's many. That's like 20 plus, meaning there's a 400% increase from the amount of shots compared to the amount of crosses. And how influential are the crosses? Well, there's a lot of goals scored from crosses, and there is a lot of mistakes made in the box, both from defenders, the goalie, and it's a chaotic situation, and it's very hectic. There's a lot of things going on at once, and it's sometimes extremely hard to read and predict what's going to happen. Therefore, if you think about the game and you split it up into boxes of what is most of my game actually going to consist of. For most of you, you will have shots on goal. Let's say there are 5 shots on goal. You will have 1 versus 1 situations, which there might be top 3 situations during the game. Then you have distribution. That's maybe where you're most active. That includes short passes, medium passes, long distance passes, throwing, side volleys, etc., etc. There's a lot of distribution. And your positioning in terms of your distribution as well is something that's always active. You want to stay active and available on the pitch. Meaning that maybe 40 to 50% of the game is actually distribution. But an area where a lot of danger happens towards the goal and that there is a high volume of repetitions during each game is usually crosses. That's everything from cutbacks to the ball being dumped in the ball from a long distance, a corner kick, a set piece from a crossing. There's a lot of crossing situations, basically. And what you see and what my experience has been with watching young goalies nowadays as well is that they are very, I wouldn't say insecure, but they are doubting themselves the most in crossing situations. I'm not sure if you feel like that yourself, but I can confirm that when I was younger and I was a lot smaller than I am right now, I felt quite uncomfortable and quite stressed about coming for crosses. But let me tell you that if you are a positive goalie in the box, if you, just to give an example, Thibaut Courtois, which might be the number 1 in the world right now, he is extremely offensive in process. You can see the impact he has on his team just by being far off his line, and he's actually sweeping in box, catching high, low crosses every single game. And he basically prevents a shot on target in so many cases just because he has a high starting position. He's very brave coming for the cross, and he's extremely intelligent and practical about his crosses as well. Meaning that if you're a goalie that holds back more on the line, you play the safe game and you let the striker make a finish, but you don't really stand out because you're not off your line, you are not preventative. I'm telling you that coaches and scouts, they're going to see this. They are going to see the people that actually are more offensive, the goalies that are on the front foot. So therefore, try to implement some practical implementations going forward with your training. The first being, always be 1 more step further out than what you're comfortable with. I know that you think you should play it safe sometimes, and that you're worried about getting chipped at times, or they're coming a shot when you think they're supposed to come across. I'm not telling you not to be ready for that, but I'm telling you that if you are a bit more offensive, take one step further out than you're comfortable with, you will already have your mind programmed to think about the first real important question when it comes to crosses, which is, can I go for it? When the cross is about to come in the box, you have to think to yourself, can I come for it? If the answer is yes, you're gonna go. If the answer is no, you're gonna hold back. But always question, can I come for it? The reason I talk about your starting position to begin with is that that's the whole starting point where all of this happened from. If your starting point and your starting position is super low, down on the line, not offensive, not on the front foot, you are never going to ask yourself the question, am I going to come for it? Because most likely you're never going to come for it, right? The ball is too far away. It's being hit in with pace and you can't cover that area. The clue is to start higher. And I know it might feel uncomfortable to begin with, but that's my first challenge to you. Just dare to stay higher. Get in a higher starting position and you will cover more area. And your team will thank you as well. The second thing when it comes to crosses, after you found a higher set positioning, is that you need to be positioned sideways and open. This means that you can't just face the ball right ahead without actually viewing your back and covering your sides and having a peripheral vision around you. So therefore, you line yourself up about a 60-degree angle to the ball, meaning you can see your backside. You can also see the front and towards the ball. And when you attack the ball, you can actually rotate towards it when jumping up with one leg. If you do this, I swear to God, it's going to have such a big impact on the way you deal with crosses. And lastly, there are many techniques for going for a cross. But as a young goalie, as someone that's up and coming, like yourself, I want you to simply think about being brave and testing out where the limit goes. You will make mistakes, so be ready for that. But on the other hand, you will learn a lot. If you don't explore by putting your starting position higher, by angling yourself correctly towards the ball and covering your whole area, and by actually daring to be brave and be on the front foot, you won't learn. And the whole purpose of being a young goalie that's ambitious and hungry is to learn. That means doing the things that will push you further towards getting better and improving. That includes making mistakes. So just be ready for it. Accept that these mistakes will happen if you start being more offensive in process. But I'm going to tell you the other side of the story. The other side of the story, from you making mistakes, maybe making wrong judgments at times, you feeling like it's a bit uncomfortable. The other side of this is that you will be able to impact your team in such a better way than you were previously. You will be able to cover more of your area. You will be able to give your teammates more security and comfort because they know that you cover their back. You will be able to have a bigger impact on the game. And impact is an important word for us goalies because there are times when we need to be neutral, hold back, stay relaxed. But there are other times where we need to be on the front foot and take action because we can impact the game. Crossing situations is one of the most unexplored skill sets of goalkeeping. And that's a point where you can make a difference. But you have to dare, you have to be brave, and you have to be willing to explore. And the third part, which I think is also crucial when I talk about the importance of crosses, is that it's an X-factor skill. Most goalies are a bit uncomfortable with crosses. And I'm telling you, this is such a gem. This is a golden nugget for all you young goalies. If you train more on crossing situations, and if you develop yourself to get to a very high level quite early in crosses, man, will coaches love you. Man, will there be teams that are looking for you to be in their goal. Because a goalie that's offensive in the box, that controls his area, is seen as mature, seen as brave, seen as a leader, seen as someone that wants to have an impact instead of just like hiding behind the team and afraid of making a mistake. You will be viewed as a leader, as someone that creates an impact out there on the field. Therefore, I challenge you, train more crosses. Develop yourself in this skill set because it's an X factor skill set as a goalie. It's something that you will get payoff from later on because there are tons of other goalies and competitors that are quite weak in this area. And lastly, and I think this might be a point that I haven't said before, but man, it's more fun when you impact the game. It's more fun when you're actually engaged and it's a part of what's going on. And crosses is a field that you can actually impact. A field within the play that you can make a difference. So please just don't play just to compete. Play to make an impact. And crosses is the way. Get great at your area control. Master this art. And I promise you, you will get the payoff. Use an extra 10 to 15 minutes, not even, maybe just 10 minutes after each session in general to get a shit ton of crosses in the box and get comfortable with any type of situations. Get pressure on you, get in-swinger, get out-swingers, get balls with a lot of air under it that goes from a high point to a low point. Train cutbacks, train everything that has to do with crosses. But you have to put in the work now that you know what to do. And of course, I wish you all the best. I hope this was helpful. I just know that it's been a crucial advice for myself. And I wish I knew the importance of area control earlier. I think that would have made me stand out in an earlier age and maybe given me a couple opportunities that I don't currently have. So, master the art and the skill of area control.